Sri Lanka has a population of about 22.16 million. Its land area is 65,610 square kilometers. The severe economic crisis caused a shortage of fuel oil, which accounts on average 25% of the annual electricity generation requirement in Sri Lanka. As a result, the power supply became so tight that all customers had to be faced with planned outage. Due to soaring fuel costs, expectations for renewable energy are rising. By 2030, the government aims to achieve 70% of electricity generation using renewable energy. Thus, renewable energy has been increasingly introduced. In 2017, the government formulated a power sector master plan that considers balance of energy safety, economic efficiency, and reduction of environmental burden with the cooperation of JICA. To realize this master plan, JICA carried out a project to develop organizational capacity of the Ceylon Electricity Board, CEB, from March 2020 to March 2023. In this project, 3 working groups were formed for each field, and JICA conducted technology transfer with relevant agencies: Ministry of Power, Energy and Business Development, Public Utility Commission of Sri Lanka, Sustainable Energy Authority, Ceylon Electricity Board, and Lanka Electricity Company by doing each working group activity. Working Group 1: Corporate Strategy, System and Policy. Due to the inappropriate electricity rate and feed-in tariff for renewable energy, the financial condition of CEB had continued to worsen. To solve the problem, the knowledge was transferred in 4 points. The first, financial analysis method. The second, calculation method for an appropriate feed-in tariff for renewable energy. The third, examination of renewable energy approval process. The fourth, introduction idea of a power market required in the future. The government of Sri Lanka has started to review the electricity rate and feed-in tariff for renewable energy. The results of this project are also beginning to be utilized. Working Group 2: Planning and Operation of Power System. Mass introduction of variable renewable energy, VRE, significantly affects the system stability and supply-demand operations. Therefore, JICA has emphasized sharing the knowledge regarding the countermeasures for mass introduction of VRE. Technology transfer was conducted on a technique such as forecast method of the amount of photovoltaics and wind power generation, which varies greatly depending on the weather. The method of formulating rules for grid operation for introduction of VRE, and the introduction policy of energy storage technologies such as storage batteries and pumped storage power plant. Working Group 3: Improvement of Distribution System Reliability. Sri Lanka was facing the 2 main issues: improvement of the supply reliability and suppression of load fluctuations when introducing VRE. The knowledge was transferred on the method of classifying the causes of past failures and studying the trends and measures against failures. The countermeasure equipment such as abrasion resistance cover, ARC, overcurrent indicator, OCI, ground fault detector, GFD, against outages used in Japan were introduced on a trial basis for evaluation. Notably, ARC's abrasion resistance cover were highly effective. Distribution lines on which ARCs were installed suffered no failures due to contact with trees. For distribution lines which had already been affected by the introduction of VRE, technology transfer was conducted on the method of collecting and analyzing grid data using power meters. Training in Japan and technical seminar. The latest technologies in Japan and optimal technologies for Sri Lanka were shared with many agencies in the power sector. Trainees exchanged opinions with engineers in Japan. Based on the knowledge and technologies learned through on-site activities, the trainees visited on-site in Japan. The trainees were highly interested in the power equipment and operation methods used in Japan and asked questions and exchanged opinions throughout the training period. How do you want to use what you learned through the training?
First of all, let me introduce myself.
We will use the financial analysis model learned in this project for annual financial planning and management team decision-making. Which Japanese technology was interesting?
Actually, I am working in system
The
control
most
center.
interesting thing is renewable energy desk for me. We want to do curtailment from our system control center as Japan already does. The results of the project were reported to government officials of Sri Lanka and JICA staff at the Joint Coordinating Committee, JCC. Based on the results of the project, participants declared their action plans, such as reviewing the feed-in tariff and the rules for grid operating. In Sri Lanka, the pilot project will continue to evaluate the countermeasure equipments against outages and study the possibility of horizontal expansion. The knowledge and technologies acquired in the project will be shared with the management and engineers in Sri Lanka. The introduction of renewable energy will be promoted in cooperation with various agencies.